Hey, what is up guys? Today I'm bringing you a not so short video on the museum expansion and everything you need to know. So obviously you guys probably had Leaf visit yesterday and you've since spoken to Blathers. I unfortunately didn't, so I'm a bit late, but as I'm one of those dirty time travelers that Twitter seems to hate so much, I wasn't so affected by this. Because obviously I got to skip through all of the steps, but it means you guys can see what happens when the museum's done, what happens when you give him fake artwork. We've got all sorts of it in this video, so I hope you guys do stay tuned for that. So he's considering adding it. You do just need to get a piece of artwork, so obviously a lot of you guys will sort of be around this stage now. But luckily I got to skip ahead, so you guys technically would have been on the 24th today, the day I'm hopefully uploading this. So you probably would have already spoke to Blathers and spoken to Red as well. So a lot of you will be waiting for the museum to be unveiled. So obviously you get Isabel speaking to you about the suspicious character visiting the islands in the area. And we know who that is. Also known to sell fake art. And that comes in handy later on, guys. We do also have a resource at nooksguide.com. I featured them before. And they do have a list of all the fake artworks that they are actually finding. So if you do have one that's not on there, make sure you send it to Nooks Guide on Twitter. And he's doing a great job updating it. Same as he does with everything. So I mean, even in front of me now, I've got the list of shrubs you can get. And obviously when you go, back to the video now, but obviously when you go up to the boat without approaching him, it won't let you. But if you do get to talk to him, which I'm sure a lot of you guys will have by now, the name's Red, he works in sales, and you just introduce yourself. This piece of artwork you get will always be a legitimate piece. So you don't get burned with the first one, so the 5,000 or 4,980 I believe it is, that you actually spend, doesn't go to complete waste. It will be the first piece you get, and everyone gets a different one. So I had the perfect painting, and of course we don't buy it for the preposterous 500k that he offers it us for, because that'd be absolutely insane. But back to something I mentioned a little bit earlier, Nook's Guide. With the shrubs, obviously if you've got Leaf, just so you guys know, there is 6 different types of shrubs that he sells to you. So you get offered 2 each day that he is there. So you'll get 2 types and then 2 colours of each type, if that makes sense. So for example, I've got on my first day, I believe I had the azalea and the hydrangea. You get 2 colours of each. The colours, there's quite a few of pink ones, but then a couple of them are different. So not all of them will be, for example, pink and white or whatever like that. It will just differ. I don't particularly go into them too much in this video, but there will be a little bit of gameplay where you see them every now and then. But obviously go to Nook's Guide and you can just tick those off. I've made a lovely little area for mine, I must say. But now we've caught up pretty much to where most of you guys are. We are giving him the painting. And obviously this will then trigger the museum to be closed for the next day, which is obviously super cool. We can then finally get cracking. But we let him appreciate his perfect painting a little bit there. I'm not sure what I was doing when I had the little break doing that, but he finally got it off me. Finally managed to give it to him. So he applies for that, and then construction begins immediately. And thank God it is not something you have to pay for. Instead, I just got to go down to my settings, system, date and time, and you guessed it, we skip a day ahead. We don't mess about on this channel, straight to it. So then obviously we're now Sunday, and Isabel is once again giving us a lovely little talk and telling us that the museum is going to be closed. So we've got the go ahead, it's closed for remodeling today, and then Blathers gives you a very, very lovely apology, bless him. He shouldn't have to do that, but he does anyway, because Blathers is that kind of guy. So once you've done this, you can obviously just go explore for the day. And I spoke to Leaf, so to cover what I said earlier, there's 2 types of each one. So there's an azalea, a hydrangea, a camellia, hibiscus, and a tea olive that all have 2 different colour variants. So like I say, I don't show them all off. Mine are in various stages of growing throughout the video, even though I didn't revisit them through the number of days I skipped, there was of course a lot of growth in those. But I did mention there was 6. That's only 5 with different colours. So as you can see here, we've got like the red camellia, the pink one, and then I believe we've got the pink and purple azaleas as well. But the holly is the only one that just has one type. So if you're making a little garden, bear that in mind. Because I've got rows with all of mine, and each side they take up, obviously, one side of the path is one colour, one's the other, and then the line below it will be the next type. So obviously the holly is sort of offset on its own because it's super awkward and just doesn't fit in with my little garden. So when I do an island tour or something, you guys will see that anyway. And of course you saw that Leaf also sells other flowers if you are missing any. But as you see later on, I go through everything. Here, so there's a little bit of gameplay we had. So I can just sort of show you guys what I was talking about. For those of you who haven't guessed, this is post commentary. So I have already done this. And I will say there was a lot cut out of me deciding on a design for this goddamn shrub garden. I don't even know why you'd have a shrub garden, but we did anyway. So as you can see, the 2 different sides, 2 different colours. And red isn't there, and the museum is unfortunately closed. No matter how many times I tried to break in. Again, not sure what I was trying to achieve with that. But I guess this is that day wrapped up. So you know what we're going to do. We are, of course, going to skip another day. Because why not? We're not constrained by time. We just, you know, we're straight in, straight out. I mean, even every time that comes up, you can literally see there's only a few minutes past between each skip. So I really wasn't messing about playing this earlier. So, Kat's birthday. Happy birthday to Kat if anyone has her on the island. She'll be gone from mine very soon. But our museum is now open. So on her birthday, she will get to enjoy that. And of course, she warned you about fake art once more, which you will later see that I do fall for. So if you guys have any tips on how to avoid that, you know, let me know. I'd love to know what painting you got stiffed with, or even what statue you got stiffed with. So again, kind of sketchy looking. We can't actually get on, which was really annoying because it took me absolutely ages to find him, which is why I'm glad this is now post-commentary and not us struggling to actually find him, which was the majority of the video, I'll be honest. So any long gap you see where it says like 3:15 and then 3:20, just know those 5 minutes were probably me looking for red. So he now tells us about the museum. I think at this point I gave up on red. So I knew he was there, that was enough. I couldn't visit him. So I just decided, you know what, we'll have a lovely little tour of the museum. And I must say, I'm actually super impressed. So I mean, there is so much that can go in here. From the numbers on Nook's Guide, I believe there's 20, at least 20 that have data. But I mean, just from a quick look here, there seems to be around 20 at the very least. There is so many. And of course, we got the perfect painting, and that is beautifully displayed up here, which concludes our nice little trip. So you can see when you donated it and a few little details. Obviously, if you guys want to read those, you can go back and pause them. I did have to shoot this a couple of times because I kept getting distracted and looking at the exhibits, even though they were empty. So, you know, that's just typical me, that is. And this is where we had so much trouble finding him. But obviously a little skip in the editing changes that. So now he says he's falling for your town. And then obviously he says he basically wants to sell. And that he's going to stay at the most northern part of your island. And I believe, just for a little history of the character, it is because he doesn't get on with Tom Nook. Because obviously, you know, he's a bit shady. He's a bit of a dodgy character. But we go visit him anyway. You know, we're going to go buy some artwork. Who doesn't want some artwork off a shady little fox? I do, that's for sure. So, obviously, you get to go in his little treasure trawler, which I still think is, like, one of the cutest things. And you get to see the range of stuff he has. So, I don't know if it changes every time you visit him. But, obviously, you can see we've got 3 paintings. One blocked by my giant head. And then there is an awesome statue, which I thought was part of just the decoration on his boat. But apparently not. And then you get 2 bits of furniture in the corner. And immediately I was attracted by that baseball chair. But obviously, for the sake of the video, we investigated everything a little bit. So we had a nice little candle holder, which is pretty cool. Doesn't fit my aesthetic though, so I obviously had to get a baseball chair. Which, as he said while we were talking a little bit earlier, you do get to buy an unlimited amount of the furniture, and it is immediately available. So same way if you buy something from the Nooks, it is straight away in your inventory. But the artwork does work different. But there is a little feature I wasn't expecting, which really blew my mind. You get to have a closer look at stuff. So this will be how you distinguish if stuff is fake. But like I said, go on Nook's Guide and have a look. A few of the things do relate to real life paintings and whatnot. And obviously a quick Google search, you can probably find the original and make up your own mind. But here's me trying to inspect it. And I pretty much just go, yeah, that's good. I'll get one of them. But I do have a look around, of course, first. So that's how you investigate the statues. I thought it'd be cool if you could like rotate them and stuff, but obviously the game's camera doesn't accommodate to that unless you're in your own house. So obviously that was a closer look at the statue, but then for a closer look at the painting, it's the exact same mechanic. You shine a light on it. And see, I thought this painting was fake because I feel like I've seen an original of this where it's a bridge and it's just a bridge with flowers in. So I thought the woman was like added for some reason. If I remember, I'll get a picture up of the original picture I thought it was. Unless they're completely different, I will not edit it in, and you guys will have to make up your own mind about what I believed it was. And then the two other paintings weirded me out a little bit. So I didn't fancy buying those. I mean, who doesn't want a Rockhead statue? It's like something out of Tomb Raider. But this is sadly where we get stiffed. So I don't know if there is actually any dialogue that hints that it's fake after you've got it. So, I mean, I don't know. There probably is a way to tell, but if you don't catch it in the inspection and you do agree to buy it, you're pretty much stuck with it anyway. But as you can see, he said it was going to be sent to us tomorrow. So, you know, you guys are on the ball. You can guess what we're going to do. We're going to skip again. So as you can see, the gaps are getting longer and longer because I was trying to find red so many times. So good luck with that, guys, if you do need to find red. But luckily, we know exactly where the mailbox is. So we can get Jolly Red, not Crazy Red anymore. We can get his gift. And it's a final purchase of whatever you bought. Please come again. No refunds. Red, owner, and president. And in this, I do also forget to unwrap the gift. So I do have to cut when I try and give Blathers a wrapped present. But hopefully my editing's so sublime you won't notice it. Unless I decide to keep it in anyway. So who knows. I'll tell you what, I think we'll leave it in. We'll leave it in. Why not? See, yeah. So you will have to unwrap these. And it is a bit of a nightmare. Especially if you're like me and you always forget. But there we go, Rockhead Statue. And let's see the verdict on if it is real or fake. And see, he filled me up with so much confidence here. I believed, oh, you know, he knows this is real. This is a genuine article. He loves it. And then boom, you get that. And that's how you know it is a fake. And of course, he cannot accept forgeries. But you do get to keep the item, which is very cool. As you'll see, I place it in a very awesome spot. But that is it pretty much for today's video, guys. So I will show you my decorating after the Nook Miles we got. So obviously to show that I spoke to Leaf before this video actually started and planted a buttload of them. There's the shrub achievement finished. But then you do actually get two more just before we wrap this video up. You get faked out. And yeah, from getting hoodwinked, the art you purchased turned out to be a forgery. And you get plausible fake. And then, of course, we also got true patron of the arts. So that'll be for just buying the artwork. But like I said, guys, that is it for today's video. Just to quickly wrap up, there is 6 different types of shrubs. One of them being a holly bush, which obviously only comes in one variant. The others have 2, but I will leave that link to Nook's Guide down below. And you can also tell if the artwork you're about to buy, like this lovely stone head, is fake or not. Because, of course, I got duped by it. But it does look pretty cool outside of my unfinished museum on my unfinished island. So before I trample these flowers, guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, peace.